to my channel. This is my little sister, Jaya. If you guys haven't met her before, which you have because she's been on my channel. So here she is. So today we're going to be talking about Bandersnatch by Black Mirror, that interactive movie. Now, I was a little skeptical. Interactive, like, what does that mean? But we'll get into it. So if it's your first time here, make sure you go subscribe and hit that bell so you know when I post another video. Let's start off with, did you like it or not?
Yeah.
Because I did. I definitely liked it. I felt like it was really creative for the way that they did it. I don't want to spoil too much, but just note that this whole video is a spoiler alert. So if you have not seen it yet, pause this, go watch for a while, don't know how long you're gonna last, and then come back.
I really liked how detailed it was and like how intricate the plot was.
It definitely got down to like paying attention to the background. Like we are the type that after each Black Mirror episode, we go on YouTube and watch videos that talk about it and analyze it. So we saw another video analyzing it later and talking about all the Easter eggs, and you really can't see them that much in this video. Like they're not something, or in this movie, they're not something that like normally in Black Mirror they have it a little bit more obvious. This time it was like there were video games named after other episodes or relevant to other episodes. The mask from the episode White Bear, that symbol on that mask showed up everywhere this episode or this movie. I keep forgetting it's a whole movie. I mean, their episodes can be movie length or at least close to it. So right. But my question is now, how are they gonna top this next season? Like, you have a movie where I choose my destiny. One thing that really frustrated me, but was also very refreshing about the movie, was that they talk to you. Like, the characters indirectly talk to you. And it could go over your head if you're not actually paying attention. This is a movie you gotta pay attention to, by the way. Because if not, then you're gonna lose out on choices, which means you're gonna lose out on certain paths and other choices. And yeah, you just need to pay attention, long story short. They have details everywhere and they talk about everything. I love the actor that played Colin. They definitely casted everyone right. The actors were amazing, spot on. The personalities were convincing. Like, I felt like I was really watching somebody else's story, like as if it was a documentary assignment.
Yeah, like you were saying, with them like talking to you, I also really like how meta it is. And it sort of references to itself a lot, especially through Colin.
Yeah, Colin was
woke.
He's a hell of a character, to say the least. My favorite part of the movie, which we actually ended up agreeing on this, was if you choose a certain, I guess it's not on everybody's path, but when I first did it, I chose this path that got me to this. But if you choose a certain path, Stefan gets to do a psychedelic trip in Colin's house. And this scene was so important because it talks about so much. Like he directly talks to you, basically. That's how I felt. Like it was indirect, but it was pretty direct, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that scene just explained a lot of the themes in the movie, like the idea of free will and also the pack system. So yeah, I like that scene a lot.
I want to go back and play and not go through that scene, and I want to see, I mean, now that I know that the scene is there, it's different, but I want to see how they play it with Colin coming back, or Colin leaving in the first place. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Y'all, if you ain't seen it, you might not know what I mean. But if you pay attention after the psychedelic scene, he goes back again. Stefan goes back, and Colin had told him he was gonna see him again. Colin did not show up this time. The wife comes into the workplace and she's like, where my husband? Like, what's happening? I haven't seen him. And then the boss is like, oh, well, you know, he does this sometimes. And she's like, no, not like this. So I want to know what the other paths would have led me to. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I just want to know, like, if there's just so much in that scene. Like, you really need that information for the rest of the movie. So I want to know, where would that information have come from, or would we have gotten any of that information? Would it still have been the same type of ending? I don't know. We're gonna play it again and we'll see. So
I also really like the scene because of like how visually pleasing it was. Like, I feel like the whole movie is really well filmed, but that scene was also just like visually intriguing.
Yeah, it was very detailed. This whole movie is like one of those pay attention to detail, honestly. You gotta look in the background, definitely pay attention to the details and the way things are said. Because some things might be said in the same tone, but it might be something completely different that is said. So, I talked to you guys about that symbol that pops up that, like, I'll put it right here so you can see it. But I talked to you about that symbol, and it was very prominent in another episode called White Bear, which I believe was in season 3, if I'm not mistaken, because it's definitely not season 4. In that episode, the white bear symbol, I'm gonna keep calling it that because I don't know what else to call it, but the white bear symbol was everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And spoiler alert again, don't watch this video unless you've seen Black Mirror, because you're not gonna go watch it later, because I'm gonna tell you everything. But it's not the same as if you were the one to go ahead and do that yourself. Like, if you were the one to watch it yourself, because it's way different from when I describe it versus when you actually get the information yourself. In that episode of Black Mirror, it was this main character was getting kind of harassed in a way, kind of tortured, whatever. There were similarities to how she was going through this controlled situation or experiment versus how Stefan was going through his controlled life. Like, and the fact that my sister pointed out when we were watching it, because we decided to rewatch White Bear to really, you know, be able to give you guys all the details on it. So when we were rewatching it, she was saying that they control him and put these memories and stuff in his head in a studio, just like they do with her. So there has to be some type of correlation. I really think in season 5 they need to like sew that together. They need to touch on it, make it make a little more sense. Like, Black Mirror is not the type of show that's gonna blatantly come out and tell you, hey, this is A plus B and now we're giving you C. But I hope I can pick out C. I hope they have C in this next season.
Another thing with the White Bear correlation, so you said that it was like a punishment system in the White Bear episode, but I was just wondering like why this same symbol occurred when we were dealing with Stefan, because it started when he was still a child, so I don't think he would have committed a huge crime. But
see, my thing is though, it was a controlled study back then. Maybe because remember his was in 1984.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least that's when he was like 20-something. So he was a kid in the 60s. So maybe they had just started the program and like were using children, because children, they're nature versus nurture type thing, to see what aspects they need to do. And I don't know, it was more like lab rats. They use the kids as lab rats, really. That's what my theory is. I think that is probably valid. And then they figured out a way to, because my guess is that became inhumane at one point. Like, somebody in the government was like, maybe we shouldn't.
Children.
Yeah, like maybe we should babysit them in a lab. That doesn't traumatize them or take them out to ice cream. Yeah, they could have been starting to kind of get like. Speaking about the trauma, his dad, when I tell you, he played so well, because in the first couple of like scenes or times you see him before making any real choices, he seems like a very timid character. Like, he's very like to himself, but he seems like it's something missing up there though. Like, it's a little. Does that make sense? Like, am I making sense? You know what I'm talking about? He seems like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's something missing with him. But he played it off well. I think he did that on purpose, so then his son, because who knows who this child belongs to. But so then his son is it's compliant and doesn't really think much of his dad doing all of this like weird stuff or spending a lot of time in his office, which turns out to be the place that he gets spied on. Okay. I wasn't ready for that one. Well, that is all we have. Let us know what you guys think of it down below. There's a lot of endings, but I think I made it to the original one. I
There's
really
not
do.
An original ending.
No, because remember, the original and like the way the movie's supposed to end, like the way they would have did if it was a regular episode, ends in the regular credits. It doesn't end in all the extra credits.
But there are other endings where you can exit to the credits and like.
But
okay, wait. Listen, Linda, listen. From what I've seen in YouTube videos, they've always said that there are like 2 main endings, and I agree with that. But then like there are different like paths you can take to that, and there are slight variances in like details depending on what paths you've taken.
But that still don't bring back to my point that when, okay, you're saying we could go to the credits, we could exit to the credits. It will not show the same as it did that last time we played it. Because remember that last time we did it was the same way that the credits leave every episode. I really think we got to the ending that it's supposed to be at. Like, he got 5 stars.
So you either get 5 stars or your game does poorly.
Thank you guys for tuning in with us today. We'll be back to do more reviews for you. How did you guys like Bandersnatch? Did you play it before you saw this video? Are you gonna play it now? Go do it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Of course. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, babes.